Hello everyone, this is Mumbo here, welcome back, and today we are back on the Hermitcraft server. It is episode 37, and we're currently over here on the inside of the Mumbo Jumballoon, ready to start recording another video. And I've got to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I am super excited to start recording this video because, to get things started, I have got some very exciting news for you. Now, I'm sure you've all heard about this. It's been all over Reddit, YouTube, it's been in the comment section of pretty much all of my videos, it's been on Twitter as well, but we have got a few new members on the Hermitcraft server, and at the time of recording, only one of them has done a video on here so far, so I'm only going to mention them, but you may have noticed, Etho has joined the bunch. Now, this is of course very exciting for me because Etho is a pretty big idol. You know, he's pretty well known for his survival building, and he's actually what got me into the survival side of Minecraft originally. When I saw his Let's Plays and saw what was possible, it really did inspire me, so I am so excited to have him on the server and to see what he can come up with over here. But we also have another new member. He hasn't done a video on it just yet at the time of recording, but that being said, you know, there's some insights, a lot of people are mentioning, some people have found out from other videos in which he's been online. So yes, we do have another new member. I'm not going to mention him in the video, but I'm sure some of you know who it is, so you can speculate that down in the comment section. But anyway, that's enough information about the new members. That's all I'm going to say on the matter. I'm just very excited to see what they can do. But anyway, in today's episode, what are we going to be doing? Well, we aren't actually going to be working in Hermit Hills, and we aren't going to be working over at the Mumbo Jumballoon. We're actually going to be doing something completely different in today's episode that I think is going to be really quite cool. So let's head over there. I know, I just said that we aren't going to be working over at the Mumbo Jumballoon in today's episode, and yet here we are. But I just thought I'd quickly show you some of the things that I was working on in a recent live stream. So, we have done all of the lighting. The lighting is now looking good. We have decided to go for glowstone instead of those redstone lamps. And then if we head over here, we have also put the beacon down under the ground. Finally, that ugly mess is all gone now, and it is looking so much better. But not only that, we've also coloured the beacon beam so that it fits in with the rest of the base. So we've used a light blue stained glass, and then we've put some white stained glass on top to give it this nice little faded colour. And if you just head outside here, I have to admit, I was a little bit against the idea originally because I quite liked the white beacon beam, but if we take a look at it from out at this angle, yeah, it looks really good. It suits the rest of the base. I'm very happy with it, and a lot of you guys seem to like it quite a lot as well. Well, I wish you guys could have seen that because I just walked through the nether portal, stepped on some pressure plates, and by the look of things, they have linked that up to some firework dispensers, which was quite a nice little entry to the Hermit Thrills area. But anyway, here we are. This is the spot. It's a really cool looking area. There has been a ton of stuff done since I was last over here, so it's good to see that all of the hermits are coming over, building all their mini games and things for all the different players to play, and we're going to be doing some of that in today's episode. As you can see from my inventory, I have got a bunch of items. That means that we are going to be getting our building hat and boots on, and we're going to be doing some projects. Now, my idea is that I am going to make a virtual Mumbo. Now, that might sound a little bit strange, okay, but what it essentially is going to do is it is going to give redstone advice, redstone tips and tricks for those of you who want to do redstone builds, so the hermits can come along, get some redstone ideas and things, and then head off nice and happy with some newfound knowledge about redstone circuitry. At least that's the idea. I think it could work out pretty nicely, so I'm going to start placing down some blocks, and we'll see what we can come up with. As always, my brain's been ticking over with various ideas of how we are going to be doing this thing, and as I'm sure you can all tell, you probably know what idea I've settled for. If you just spin this thing round, oh, that doesn't really work, I've got my armor on. Let's just chuck all of that out on the floor there. Right, you should be able to tell around about now, if we take a look at me, we are building a version of me from the nipples upwards, I guess you could say. We're coming from the nipples up. The top half of Mumbo is going to be constructed in Hermit Hills. So let's just pick up my armor. That's a bit concerning. Where on earth have my boots and my helmets just got? Where have they gone? What on earth has happened to them? How on earth have I just done? I've just chucked my items through the stairs there. That's quite impressive, to be honest with you. Right, we're going to have to fix all of this stuff. But that's very strange. I've never seen that happen before. I managed to throw it, I guess, through that gap there. If there's not a gap. I don't know, that's some Houdini stuff there, what I've just managed to do. I'm a bit of a magician there, but anyway, as I was saying, as far as the rest of the build is concerned, obviously we are going to be constructing a head, and I'm not going to be doing it flat like my actual skin. Instead, I think I'm going to be going for a slightly 3D design with the mustache and then the 3D hair and things. It should end up looking pretty good. So I'm just in the process of building the head here, and I thought I'd take you on the journey with me just to see how I do all of it, because I've hit a bit of a problem that hopefully I'll be able to solve. Basically, I've been trying to think about this, and I really want the mouth to move. Now, this is the mouth, okay? This slightly brownish stain is actually the mouth. I couldn't think of any better colours to do it, so I thought that would be the best one there. So he's got a slightly rubbishy looking mouth, but we should be able to fix that at some point because I want the mouth to move as this guy talks to you about all of the redstone advice and things. So what I'm thinking is, of course, we're going to need pistons, and they need to be hidden. So the moustache will come across like this, and then it will go up like that. So we'll do that on both sides. So the moustache will come across like that. That will hide the piston arms, and then I suppose I could have a nose like that, and then we'll have the pistons facing downwards into the mouth. I hope that works. I really hope that looks good. And then as far as the eyes are concerned, oh, I'm trying to think whereabouts I should place them. Should they be one block above the nose, or should they be around about here? Or does that squash my face a little bit too much? Let's try it on both sides, okay? So we'll place one there, and then we'll have the eyebrow in like that. I'd say that looks a little bit squished, if you're asking me. So let's try something slightly different on the other side, and then we'll have the eye slightly higher up the face. Like I said, it's really difficult to know how all of this looks while you're actually standing on all of it. Anyway, we'll place all of these blocks in. He looks a little bit strange, because obviously his eyes are slightly mismatched there. But anyway, let's go down to the bottom and see how all of it looks. Oh boy, that's not a good look. Right, I definitely prefer that side. That side's a lot better. And also the nose and the mustache, that definitely works. Yeah, that doesn't do it for me. That looks really very strange. So I'll fix all of that. And also, I'll start adding in some hair because, you know, me balding, it's not really a good look, is it? Good lord, I'm not being particularly flattering to myself right now, am I? Look at the size of my chin. And my eyebrows are right to the top of my hair. Look at me, I'm a handsome chap. I'm not doing a very good job with this whole statue thing, am I? So I'm currently over here at the squid farm on the Hermitcraft server. You can see it is working in action. All of the squid are falling down to the bottom. And I have to say, I am so very impressed with this place. What a cool looking area. We've got these massive slopes coming down like this, and of course the gigantic squid in the middle. I believe this was built by the man himself, Exuma, who has just joined the game, and it uses Doc M77 squid farm design, which is really quite good, and it seems to be fairly effective as we just saw a bunch of squid fall out of there. But anyway, let's head over to these chests over here. I do believe that these are the item drops, so let's take a look. Yes, there are tons and tons of ink sacks. So let's pick up some of those. We're probably going to need more of that, so we'll throw out... Yeah, let's throw out the iron. 42 iron blocks, that's absolutely nothing. You know, we've got an iron titan, so it's worth less than dirt. And redstone, because we've got ourselves a witch farm now as well. So we'll chuck out all of those items there, make way for all of the ink sacks. Okay, so we should have plenty now to get all of the black wool that we need. But anyway... While we head through into the nether portal, I just thought I would have a chat to you guys a little bit, a very, very quick one, because recently I've been receiving a few comments that essentially say, I would enjoy your episodes a lot more if you just chilled out for a couple of seconds, stopped it with the progress updates and all the building and all the working hard, and just had a nice little chat to us. Now... This is actually something that I've noticed as well. I quite like the idea of occasionally doing a slightly more chilled out, relaxed episode, and that's what we're doing today. I've done a couple of them in the past as well, over the past couple of weeks, and I just wanted to ask you guys, what do you think to it? Do you enjoy these sorts of episodes? Do you want to see more of these slightly more relaxed episodes? Of course, they're going to be mixed in with the working, hard, progress updates episode with all the time lapses and all the building and things, but... I actually find them quite fun. It's nice to just sit down, chill out, play a bit of Minecraft, don't work too hard, overwork myself or anything like that, and just have a nice little chat to you. So let me know what you think to that idea down in the comment section. Okay, so everything should be finished up around about here, so let's just head over to my little iron pillar that I've got over here and take that one out, and let's see how all of this looks. Now, I am a little bit nervous because I've been playing around with the design and things. I moved the eyes about, so now they are a little bit lower, which, believe it or not, actually looks a little bit better. Right, here comes the moment of truth. We'll move this iron out the way as well. We don't want anything to spoil this experience, and I can see there's some iron on his face once again, so we'll remove all of the scaffolding that we have going on. There's more iron. There's iron everywhere, but we're not getting a good look just yet. Right, we can leave that over there. Okay, here it comes. Let's descend from the iron pillar, walk over to this side, and turn around. Oh boy! It's distinctly 80s, isn't it? How 80s does that look? I mean, I'm missing half my face, so it looks like I've actually missed out some things there, but it's a good look. It is quite a cool look. You know what I look? I look like a member of the Bee Gees. None of you are going to remember who the Bee Gees are. In fact, none of you are going to know who the Bee Gees are. Hopefully, if I remember in post-production while I'm editing this video, I'll put an image of the Bee Gees in here, and you'll see what I mean, because, yeah, that looks directly from the 80s there. You know what? I'm pretty happy with it though. That is a cool looking guy. He looks pretty groovy, you know? He looks like the kind of guy that will turn up to a disco, essentially. But I'm happy with that. It's a good look. There's still some blocks missing from the side of his face. I do apologise, but I'm happy with this. Right, now all of the decoration is done, it is time to start work on some of that redstone stuff. So of course, this is all going to be happening on the inside of his gigantic head. This guy's got a huge noggin, so we should be absolutely fine with space in terms of fitting in all of the mechanisms that we need. So, what do we need to do? Well, we need a mechanism to move the mouth up and down. We need the firing out the advice mechanism, as well as a storage system, as well as a few other bits and pieces. So there is quite a lot to fit in here, but I'm sure we'll be able to manage, so I'm going to start placing some of it down, then hopefully I'll do an explanation towards the end. You know, in the previous clip, I was saying that we had plenty of room to play with, and we weren't going to have any problems fitting in all of the redstone. I might have spoken just a little bit too soon there, because as you can see, we have only got one of the circuits in, and already things are getting a little bit tight for space, so we'll have to wait and see how all of this pans out. But anyway, I have now got the mouth moving mechanics in place. Now, I haven't actually tested this yet, but in my head, this is going to look absolutely glorious, okay? I'm excited to see how all of this works. So let's just head outside, walk off his shoulder, and take out my scaffolding. I have to get into the habit of doing all of that, because otherwise I just leave scaffolding everywhere, and everything looks really ugly. But anyway, here comes the moment of truth. Let's hit this button here, and we should see a nice moving mouth. Oh boy, doesn't that look good? It's a little bit scary being able to see inside there with all of the redstone and everything, but that should all be fixed soon with the droppers being right behind it. But that looked good. It didn't last very long though. So that's a bit of an issue. I don't know why that is actually, because we have ourselves a comparator pulse extender. The way that the actual mechanism works is we've got a comparator pulse extender that obviously extends out the pulse. That runs into this redstone torch tower, which then unpowers this hopper clock, which makes these pistons go up and down. It's as simple as that. Really is quite an easy circuit. But I would like that to go on a little bit longer, so I'm considering extending out this comparator clock. You'll be happy to hear that I have done all of the redstone circuitry. It is all done and dusted, and I have to admit, I'm actually pretty proud of myself with this one, because I've had to use some mechanics that I don't often use in my redstone circuits to make all of this build work. Essentially, we ran into a bit of a problem where the droppers would shoot out the items while the mouth was closed. Now what that means is the items will be shot out into the blocks instead of out into thin air, and you know how it is, blocks and items inside them in Minecraft, it just doesn't seem to bode particularly well, so the items just fly out all over the place. They end up miles away or on the inside of the build, and it just didn't work particularly well. So what I had to do is create an override circuit, which we've got up here. Basically, this thing here fires, it means the repeater runs into the comparator and temporarily overrides the system, shuts off the comparator, meaning that the mouth will automatically close, meaning that the items can be fired through the gap, go out, off into the player and all that sort of thing, and then this system will come back on. So it really is quite smart. I'm actually quite happy with this one. But other than that, it is the same old, same old. We have got a falling edge monostable circuit that runs into the droppers and this system here, which means that they will only be shot out towards the end of the pulse. And speaking of that, we've actually increased the pulse length of the whole system, so that means you get a little bit more talking before the items actually come out. But all of this being said, I haven't actually tested it out just yet, so we have a few items on the inside of the droppers here. In theory, this should work, but I'm not 100% certain that it will, so let's just head down there and give it a quick go. Alright, we'll take out the scaffolding, and boink, there it is. The mouth should begin to move. Okay, that is promising. That means that we haven't broken that circuit just yet. Right, the suspense is building. It looks like it works, just about. We might have to adjust some of the timings there, because it looks like the iron block might have been caught by the mouth. So as I say, we might have to adjust things a little bit, but the theory worked. It definitely worked in theory. It might just be a timing issue, so I'll quickly sort that out, and then it should all be done. Oh my word. I do not know what to say here. It turns out it's not a problem with the redstone in the slightest. You know, earlier on in the episode when I chucked out my items and they somehow went in between the gap between the stairs and the half slab? That's what's happening. That is what is happening. We have spaced this perfectly, absolutely perfectly for that to happen. It means that the items follow this sort of trajectory and they land in this gap here, and somehow that means that they travel through the half slab and go through into the floor underneath. I don't know what to say. Why is that a thing that exists? I had no idea that was a thing that exists until this point now. Right, let's give it another tester. We'll hit this button here, and we'll see if the items go in the gap. I bet they don't now, okay, because of course it is pretty random how the items come out of the droppers. But I don't believe it. I honestly don't believe it. No, see, that was fine. That was absolutely fine, but... oh, that's so frustrating. That means that some of the redstone advice is going to be lost on the inside of these slabs, and I don't know what to do about it. I do believe I have solved the problem that we were having. We have now extended the path outwards so that it meets up with the redstone consultant, redstone tips guy, the redstone guru. I don't know what I'm going to be calling this chap, but for the minute I'm going to refer to him as the redstone guru because I do quite like that. But anyway, I've also added in this little sign here which explains to hermits what exactly it will do. So let's just hit the button, give it another test, because let's face it, I cannot get enough of this machine. But of course, we need to fill in the droppers with the actual advice. There would be no point in this machine if it only fires out red wool and iron blocks. So we need to fill it in with some actual advice, and I thought I would time-lapse this simply so that you can see all of the redstone advice that I'm actually putting in the machine. Well, I was not expecting that to take quite so long. I cannot believe how long it took to put down all of that redstone advice. In my head, it seemed like it would be a nice quick thing. I'd just chuck it down in all of the books, but I have to admit, I was actually struggling to think up of things to put in all of the books. For example, if we take a look in here, oh, this is actually quite a good one. Cauldrons. Cauldrons can be moved by pistons, and you can take a comparator output from them, meaning they are the only movable power block that doesn't affect nearby circuits. So that's that. That's the sort of redstone advice that you can accept or receive from the redstone consultant, redstone guru type chap. So anyway, now what we have to do is we have to head back over to Hermit Thrills and place in all of these books into all of the droppers. But before we head over to Hermit Thrills, there is something that I really quickly want to do. As you know, we have currently got 2 droppers. Only one of them is responsible for firing out the redstone advice. The other one at the minute is pretty useless, but I've just come up with what I think is a pretty cool idea, and that is to have a bit of a business card for the redstone consultancy. So what we're going to do is we're going to rename this redstone here. We are going to call it Consultant Certified. Now what that means is that the redstone consultancy has certified this redstone knowledge that we're handing out. So there we go, consultant certified. That all looks like it's been spelled correctly. Okay, that is good. Now it is time to head over to Hermit Thrills and we'll start placing this stuff into the droppers. Seeing as you guys haven't seen this happen at all so far in the episode, I thought I would finally show you. If we walk over these tripwires, check out the lovely fireworks that we get coming out of this giant H here. Looks really cool. I don't actually use fireworks that much in Minecraft, and it's something that I should do more often actually, because they are really quite nice, and they've been around for a while now. I think they've been in the game for around about a year, and yet I'm yet to do anything particularly creative with them. I think it's because they are relatively expensive. But anyway, this is how we are going to do it. Essentially what I'll do is I'll create a ladder going up the side of his arm, but for the minute it's just going to be a little bit of scaffolding there. Oh, we need to light that place up. That scared the bejeebus out of me. We don't even have any torches. That's a little bit worrying. What else could be on the inside here? Let's look out for any green feet. Oh god. Oh jeez. I can't believe how much I'm panicking. I just really don't fancy watching all of this blow up. And that guy really did come out of nowhere there. So let's try and be careful. Let's be nice and careful. Okay, it's looking relatively safe from this point forth. But yes, lighting up is definitely required here. But anyway, what we are going to do is this is where all of the items are going to be going. So we'll place the chest like this. And we'll chuck in all the items. If you thought that was me being scared then, obviously that wasn't the case. That was all for show. I totally wasn't really very scared by those 2 skeletons. Not in the slightest. I mean, you know, I'm hard as nails, me. I really am the toughest bloke. And I wouldn't be scared by anything like that. Oh, that was a bit embarrassing. But anyway, that is it. The redstone guru is now all done and dusted. He has got a door in the side of his face. That is so that the hermits can return the redstone advice inside this chest here. So all of that will travel down into the dropper and it should all be fired out. I am humming and hawing about the idea of actually testing it out myself. In fact, you know what? Let's do it. Let's clear out some inventory space and let's give it a go. So we hit this button here. The guy will start talking. It's so good. We need a few bits of sound and things. I suppose I could add some music in. but we might have to work on that at some point in the future. But there we go, there is our redstone advice and our consultant certified book. And here we go. Blocks and items. You can take comparator outputs through blocks. If you place a block next to a chest full of items, then place a comparator in line with the chest, it will power the comparator. That's a little bit... It's a little bit all over the place, that advice. That was a little bit of a complicated thing to try and explain using just one page of a Minecraft book. But you know what? It does the job. It's a cool little build. Then, of course, you return the block back in there. So there we go. That is all done. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is all I've got time for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to hit that like button. And if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.